Hey DIYers, today boys and girls we're going to assemble and put to test this genuine Chinese Amazon bought wood chipper. It's supposed to cut up to 3-inch logs. Let's get started. Some assembly may be required. Let's see. Foam, good. Yeah, like that. Ooh, hard plastic. Never flat tires. Also made in China. Comes with some hardware. Actually a wrench, spark plug stuff. Yeah, various little nuts and bolts, instructions. We might even actually read those. Let's see what kind of motor we got in here. It looks impressive. It's all shiny. Ooh-ah. Ooh-ah. We've got the wife out here to pick it up. Genuine imitation Briggs & Stratton Chinese model. Looks pretty hefty. Blades are already installed. This is the feed tube. That's the output tube. Take a look at that. Yeah, if you notice, I got some of my railing stuff in. That's a fence kit for the pool deck that I've been working on. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad looking stuff there. Great circle feed tube. Comes with a little safety valve or flapper, so you remind you not to put your hands in there, and also keep any kickback chips from flying out in your face. Part of the stand. Little cap came off, no problem. Slip that back on. So that will have to get bolted onto the base. And then this is where the wheels go on. And they're just cotter pins, so that's an easy installation. Basically, probably put a washer and a cotter pin there. Try how that goes. A random nut fell out of the bag, it looks like. And they gave me an extra. Yeah, whatever that is. The other tire. And that's what's in the kit. So this should be a pretty quick assembly. Let me clean up a little bit and I'll get back with you. Alright, we're back. I like working on this surface. And it's already hot in here. Got a fire going today. Fall is in the air. Excuse me, take the jacket off. But I like working on this work surface. It's a nice height. Get the instructions out. Take a look at the hardware package. It all looks like pretty good stainless steel hardware. Got 4 larger bolts, 2 smaller ones, lock nuts. Got more of those than I seem to have bolts for. That's okay. Shouldn't be much to it. Like I said, I've already put the 2 tires on the axles, wheels and tires. They are not pinned. Let's see where we start. Oh, start at the beginning. Yes. General operating safety. product safety, assembly. Install this on the engine. Boom. Goes sideways. So flip this over onto its blade case, and this should mount like that. For you at home, this is the base of the engine plate. The 4 holes line up with that. It's a through feed. They're saying use these to go up and through. I don't even like that, but let's see. Wow, okay. We'll see. Follow the instructions. No washers, no nothing. I'd rather do it the other way and use an impact driver and just drive it home, but let's see if I can just get it started. And I cannot. One. Too many years at the station, I think. Let you figure out what station I work for. 2. Oh, I gotta go get some oil. I don't have any oil. So we'll get this assembled first. Put the rest of my oil in my lawnmower this spring. The oil I had laying around. All right, all 4. Time to get some tools. All right, 12 and 13 millimeter socket and wrench, because I'm not lazy, I'm efficient. I went and got my impact driver, so we can just put a wrench on one side and zip them home. I don't want to over tighten this so much that it starts collapsing the metal. I think, yeah, I can see it start to squeeze it. That's plenty tight, so that's done. And you know it's going to be silly millimeters. It's Chinese made, so no need to bother with the SAE. All right, next step, wheels. Opposite side, go figure. It shows it mounting. And I'm turning it like this because, well, it is empty, so it should be safe. So just for ease, take these wheels back off the axles. And it's pretty simple. It has 3 bolt holes that will line up with, and that's where that extra nut came from. They have 3 nuts that were, well, actually, here's another one that's loose. This one's loose. Curious to see what that's all about. But you have 3 right here that are loose, that are towards the bottom, and I will bet you that these are 12 and 13 millimeter. 13 millimeter nut, 12 millimeter bolt. A little harder to get the tool on this side, so I'll just switch it. I'll put the wrench on this side and the drill, impact drill on this side. So I'll switch these out. If I have a 13mm socket, oh no, 13, I need a 12. 12. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Sorry. Still a 13mm socket. Yes? No? Yes. Is it a 12mm, 13mm wrench? No, it's 12mm wrench. No? And no, got 12. Alright. So this will line up just like so. I don't know if you can see it from all the way over there, but making it happen. Okay. Yeah, because these are a little bit, they're all into the steel casing, I can give it a little more oomph. Get them a little, oh yeah, see that impact wrench makes them plenty tight. Yep. All right. Yep, okay. Great. Next step. Hey, get the wheels on now. Yeah, I think, well, So it'll rub like that. So this is dished on one side of the wheel and it is protruding on the other. So the protruding part goes in towards the axle base, gives it something to spin against. Get a large flat washer, you put it on there because you don't want it to bind, and then you have a cotter pin. You just stick the cotter pin in, and I'll bring you in closer so you can see what I'm doing. So here you can see how it's kind of protruding on this side and it's dished on this side. So the dish part goes out. It also provides actually protection from any ankle bites where the axle might stick out and catch you in the ankle. And believe me, I've actually had that happen where I've had one of these. It was a homemade go-kart with axles just like this. And the axle stuck out a couple inches and it poked right through my ankle when we had an accident. We had a wreck, as they say. We wrecked her good. Wrecked him. Hell, damn near killed him. Alright, let's see if I can get a screwdriver in here. Get this cotter pin bending. Yeah, just spread it apart like such. Get the needle nose on there. And really, that's all you need right there. That ain't coming off, that pin ain't coming out. You work these too much and they will break, so that's all there is to it. Yeah, spin her around. Protruding part to the inside. Washer, cotter pin, washer. Welcome back, cotter. Just a little bit hanging out there. Push. There we go. Really didn't even need the pliers. Push it on. There we go. So now we got wheels and we got a brace, and now it's sitting like that. Looking good. Oh, got a little on off. Must have had a little oil in it already. I'm gonna have to check the oil. It says must add above 3/4 stick for the oil. Here's your oil fill with a little warning tag. At least I'm glad this is not in Chinese, so I wouldn't know what to do. Must add gas and oil before starting. Now this is a 4-stroke engine, so you do not have to do an oil mixed gas. This will run off of this. I wanted to make sure that I bought a 4-stroke, not a 2-stroke, because you still can get these in 2 strokes, but you want a 4-stroke, and you just put gas straight into it. And it says it is designed to run with 10% ethanol. I do not like using ethanol in any of my small engines and snowmobiles and motorcycles if I can help it. I mean, I'll do it in the summertime if I know I'm going to burn through it, but if this gas is going to sit over like the winter or whatever, you don't want ethanol in there. That's what gums up your carburation systems, and not as bad with injectors, but it still does affect them. Okay, so next step. Oh, we get to put on the chute. All right. So this is the outfeed chute, and it goes. I'm gonna have to get you back out. Well, maybe I can tilt you up here. There we go. Now you can see it. So the outfeed chute is here. It appears. Try to figure out where the input feed is. If we took the input feed would be from the top, but maybe not. Oh, input here. So you probably can't see it now where you're at. Here's your input feed. And this is your output. So blades in, shoots it up and out. Yep. So this is supposed to go here. So you do have 2 nuts that are loose. And I believe, yes, you want to point it. I got this like this, like this. This goes here. So there's a single bolt going into the casing here with the 2 here. So these have to come out because this has through and through holes, where this one is a slot. So that one can sit in there and just drop down on it, but these have to be out of the way. And they do have lock washers and a flat washer. So once you tighten them down, they shouldn't move. All right. All right, there. What do you want to guess? 12? I think 12. I was wrong. That's 12. That's 12. Why does this not be 12? Well, heck, it wants to be 13. We'll let it be 13. Let's get this around here. I can work on it. It's not actually. Boy, I almost want to say that's a SAE bolt. It shouldn't have to do any tighter than once the lock washer is compressed. That should be it. Now, I cannot get to that with the tool I got, but I have another tool. Just run an extension with a swivel. Turn this around a little bit so we can see how I'm doing it. That's it. Done. So, okay. Next item up for bids. Okay, the chute flapper. Let's get you back up a little higher. Chute flapper goes on here like that with the adjustable doodad. So this will be nut bolted up in here with this, I'm sure. I haven't even looked. Yes. Looks like it wants you to put some washers on there, so we'll do that as well. Just use it to hold it in place though for now. That should be a through and through. They are saying put that on the outside end. The bolt goes in and the nut, small nut, goes on the inside. These are locking nuts. No washers. If that's going to be a problem in the future, I'll have to find out. But let me see what size these are. Because again, I like to use my wrenches and drills. Looks like a 9. No, not a 9. 10 then. So it's a 10 on the outside. I bet it's a 9 on the inside. Nope, 10 and 10. Perfect. So we can hold that in there. Get my number 10. Put it on my drill. Well, what did I go and do here? There we go. Put that on there. Feed that up into here. Ooh, you cannot get the box into the wrench up in there. So let me get it started by hand, and then I can put the open end up in there, and that'll work fine. Get that started. Basically, for the ones folks who don't know, the wrench is just to keep the nut from spinning while I torque it with this. And I don't want to tighten it just yet, because I got to get the other side in as well. Going to bet together pretty quickly, pretty easy. That is all that has to do. And really, it shouldn't be tight. So, that's interesting. I think all you got to do is make sure the lock nut has got into the, it's kind of a plastic thread material. Once the nut is through that, that should not back off on its own. So now that moves. And the nuts shouldn't back out. I think I can make them a little bit tighter than that because they're a little bit sloppy. Get that on there. Yeah, that might be a little bit too tight, but I can move it with my hand. And I think that way you can point. You can start blowing straight down and then blow it out, whatever. They could have probably just made that all as one piece, but... And then this goes in, but they want you to put a locking washer and nut on this so that you can lock that into place. So the lock nut goes against the knob and the flat washer goes against the metal. Like such. So right now I can move it, take it on down, take it on down.
And voila. I can still move it there. There. That's pretty tight. Tight enough. Tight enough for the girl's eye. Oh, never mind. That's somebody else's line. Okay. All right, I got I got 3 nuts. Oh, sorry, no I don't. I got 3 lock nuts left. And you know, oh, the go handle for this thing is the feed chute. So here's the feed chute. So you grab it like this to pull it around. So it must go on here like this. So that's why there's 1 nut right here that's loose. And we're gonna have to get you back down. Going down, going down, going down. Lingerie. 2nd floor, lingerie. Alright, so that is not probably the nut I'm gonna start with. But this should all line up. So far so good. Everything's going together real easy. Feels like pretty good construction. I had some reviews. I heard my wife read the reviews on it, and people were happy with this thing. I think there were 1 or 2 that were not. And that's just a little off. Like me, a little off. Just get this bolt completely out of the way. It goes on there. Ruga. Alright, so I see what's going on here. It's not really no big surprise that, you know, bolts sticking out. Lost my nuts. There we go. But I'm just going to put this one nut on here, tap it over a little bit, and that should go right on. Let me get a persuasion tool. It doesn't take much. I think that moved. I felt it move. Did you feel movement? I did. Okay. Probably didn't move at all. Wishful thinking. Oh, it's so close. It's actually the worst one because now the tire's in the way. Now these are a pressed nut in the metal. They probably had a heat treatment. They could have been kind of arc welded or spot welded in. Well, you sure not want these to back out at all, because that's the blade right there. And those would get right into the blade and ruin the whole works. You know what? I might just take a big wrench, put that on there like that. That might do it. A little loose for that. I could get a pair of vice grips. That'd make a certain car nut happy to say that. Okay, that's good. Oh, wait, I think maybe that. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, we got them on there. So that was all it took. A little persuasion just to get it back in alignment. Yeah. So, should be. Go back to the number 13 socket. Beautiful. And for these top ones, it does look like it's going to need kind of odd. Some of these nuts are all... There we go. Let's suck it in. Some of these nuts seem to take a 13 and others seem to take a 12. No matter. I don't want to necessarily over tighten the ones that are pressed in, because I don't want to bust loose the whatever it is that's holding them in place. Whether if it's welded, great, it's not going to bust as easy, but if it's just stamped in, it could break. So really, I think that's it. Gas and oil, and it's ready to rock. So I will leave you with that and take this outside after I go run to the store and get some oil. All right, see you there. All right, all oiled and gassed up. Gas on, power on, gas on, choke, and fire. That is.
Hmm?
Oh, there's like a cable nut up here, but I don't know that there was ever anything attached to it. Yep. Didn't like that one.
My bad. Turn the fuel supply off. Yeah. We'll get her going up. guess we'll have to do a before and after on that. But two thumbs up for the little 3-inch chipper. Handled everything I threw at it. So what's my overall take on this Great Circle 7 horsepower 3-inch chipper? I mean, it may be too early to give it a 5-star rating, but it did everything I wanted it to do. It handled the leaves, although the leaves tended to clog it up. And you had to, you know, tamp them into the feeder with a stick. But, you know, it handled it. It mulched them pretty well. I threw a couple pretty good size. I think the largest I probably threw in there were 2-inch, maybe a little bit bigger than 2-inch. It did jam on that one, but that was because just I was throwing too much at it at once. It was that 2-inch plus some other smaller stuff, so that's the only reason why it stopped on that. You know, it's fired right up, like on the second pull, just because it hadn't had any gas in it yet, so gas had to get to the carburetor. Yeah, ran smooth. You've seen the pile that it handled, did a great job. So, yeah, I would at least give it a 4. And this thing costs a little over $400. I'll put the link to it in the description. But, you know, I think the business was looking at these to rent one of these for a 3-inch size chipper, and it was $100 a day. So if I use this thing 4 times, it pays for itself. And I'm certain it will. Plus, I got quite a bit of mulch out of that pile of limbs. And I'm taking a whole tree down, so I'm going to have more mulch than I know what to do with. Everything that I'm not wanting to chop up to put in my wood stove will end up going through the chipper. And yeah, it's going to be plenty of mulch. So that whole area where I was chipping at, that's going to be the garden. And I'm going to just cover the grass. So that whole area over there where I was chipping is going to be the garden area. So I'm going to cover the grass, kill it, and cover it with mulch, and then put in the raised beds, and it's going to be real nice. So I'm getting free mulch out of it. I'm getting rid of waste. You know, it's upcycling at its best. And yeah, would I bought American? Sure, but American ones were $800 to start, I think. So, you know, the price was what I could afford, and it did a good job. You know, this will be the family chipper, so my 2 kids, they could take it to their place and chip up their goods as well. And so, yeah, we're going to get our money's worth out of it. I have no doubt of that. So, quick review, quick use case. I would recommend it if you're looking for a chipper. They do have 5-inch ones that are almost double the price, I think the wife said when she was looking at them. So, but if you need one that'll handle a little bit bigger logs, I burn the 5-inch stuff, you know, in my wood stove. It's actually a perfect size for the wood stove. So anyways, if you don't have a way of, you know, burning some of your wood product, then yeah, you might want to chip it up and turn it into bark mulch also. Anyway, that's my review. Stay chipper.